Ladies and gentlemen, we are at a point on the brink of Mystery Babylon collapsing or imploding. When we talk about that word, harpazo, rapture, to snatch, I know we still got dum-dums that think that that is a heresy, it ain't in the book, and all this other foolishness. How many times have I, knocked that down? But you still get people to the channel that are in that frame of mindset that aren't studied. Okay, that's a big problem. Because we got a lot of people who aren't studied, period, in anything. Factually, anything whatever is going on in this world, a lot of people will not do any research on their own and just repeat what somebody else is saying. This government shutdown is a setup to what's getting ready to happen in these first 6 seals. Now, I'm going to say this again. We ain't in them yet, nor will the bride be in them. I think people get off on hearing themselves say it, so they continue to repeat it, but it's not Bible sound doctrine at all. Because, again, I've showed time and time and time again that the harvest must be at the throne before any of these seals are open. But it is the point of watching. And when we are watching, you see a setup of things happening that makes these Bible verses and prophecies accurate. Okay? Makes them accurate. We're talking about $33 trillion, right? Now, not only that, we have this barbecue coming from October 4th through the 11th. I'm not counting on them to just do it one day. I'm counting on them to do it a bunch of days. There's a lot of theories out there about this shutdown and how it's related, possibly related to the FEMA Federal Communications move to broadcast this signal through your phone for a half an hour. Now, whether they shut the phone down for a half an hour or they do it intermittently for a half an hour, they're going to make sure that when you think the coast is clear and you go to hold that thing up to your head and make a phone call, here comes another radiation blast. Most diabolical thing ever. So Mystery Babylon has to be destroyed because biblically sound doctrine says that this country is not even mentioned because it's going to be destroyed. And you see it. If your eyes are open spiritually, you should be able to see it. Migrants coming in. Weather is destroying the country. Financially, we're bankrupt. Again, 1871 put us there as a debt from the Civil War. We went from a republic to a corporation. And every one of us was walking around as a corpse. Corporation. Again, when you die, you are called a corpse because you are no longer a living corporation. Someone actually did the homework that I told them to do, and they put in all the things in the comment section of the first video put up this morning. They put in all the things that can happen. This debt is about to be called in, and we don't have it. Why is that important to know right now? Because in the first 6 seals, when you get into the third one, which is not too long after, which is 3 months after the harvest, and we believe that the harvest is happening this year, blind on fire faith, we believe this. Then you get into that third one, it says this is what's going to happen, folks, because I've said this multiple times and other folks have said this multiple times who haven't. And what's crazy is a lot of folks who are talking about this are not even believers, but they have financial wherewithal and government military wherewithal, and their same study meets the same thing that we're looking at in the script. You talk about what's coming. Okay? Because the second and the third seal are very important. We're going to be in heaven with the Lamb watching him open each and every one of these. But what we're seeing right now is everything being set up to happen. People are going to they're going to have the power to kill each other with a great sword. Could be war, civil war. You think about it. No money, no food. That purge siren's going to go off. That's verse 4, Revelation 6. Then you get into verse 5. And it talks about the balances. That's money. That's the judicial system. You think, go look up the government and go look up that balance system. It's one of the icons for government. The balances. Okay? That's the judicial system. That's government. And then it talks about verse 6, how the cost of living is going to be sky high. Not only are you going to have chaos from what happened when God got off his throne and came down here and shouted and pulled us up. You're going to have mass confusion with that going on. People still trying to figure out the truth on that, which they're going to wipe the internet. Trust and believe. Now you have a debt, folks, that's going to see poop. That's not the word, but y'all know what I'm saying, rolls downhill. So federally, it starts at top, and then everybody else is going to feel the heat and the stink and the stench of it. This is the reason why God would get up off the throne and yell with the voice of an archangel with a shout and call us home, because of Caesar's governmental system is collapsing on purpose so they can resurrect anew. And we can't be here for that. Because if we're looking at this, not saying if we don't, well, some people don't know it, but I'm saying if, as in we know it to happen, and the reason why a snatching, a harvest would have to happen, because God told Pharaoh during your 7 years of plenty and your 7 years of death, you need to pull the plenteous out before that 7-year death come, dearth. There would be no harvest if the harvest of the good basket of fruit would be left in the land just during these 2 seals. We wouldn't survive. People are going to be willy-nilly, freely killing each other in the streets because of the financial system, the collapse that's coming. If you think carjacking, and which is nothing compared to what's going to happen, people are peaceably shopping at grocery stores right now, except for certain parts of the country who have salt water and they got to go and get a bunch of water. They got to stand in lines that wrap around the building to get water now. You think about this. This ain't even, and this is the first 2 to 3, but when we even get past, this is not even the worst of it that's coming. Right now, we're looking at a preview spiritually of what's coming because of what's happening today. Right now. R-A-T. Right now. This thing is being set up. So this is the reason why we see verse 4, 5, and 6 the way we see it. Because of the preparation of it now. We cannot be far off. $33 trillion. Go start a GoFundMe for the government right now. We can't pay that back. Special interest groups, private folks in other parts of the world, we owe to a whole lot of. That's why this is the horror mystery Babylon, because we have become the greatest slave nation on the planet. Again, I said, I'm still going to say the auto strike was on purpose because of what's getting ready to happen with China and Taiwan. This is all designed to bring this country down on purpose. So if we're a corporation walking around on 2 legs and 2 feet, and we're collateral, and we can't pay that back, what you think getting ready to happen, folks? What happens when collateral? What happens? Let's do this. Okay, collateral. Let's look it up. Okay, now, key takeaways. Collateral is an item of value pledged to secure a loan. So you got collateral to secure a loan for a house or a car. It means you own something, which means the United States owns us based off Social Security numbers and birth certificates. You're never out of debt. You always owe. Collateral reduces the risk for lenders. If a borrower defaults on a loan, the lender can seize the collateral and sell it to recoup its losses. So we know how that works in the natural. Mortgages and car loans, collateral. We can seize whatever you put up. So if we're collateral, that's in the natural, but spiritually, we belong to the Lamb, to the Prince of Peace. It's the reason why there has to be a harvest here pretty soon, because of what's happening. If we're collateral based on 1871, and we can't pay this debt, then October 4th, something's going to happen through the 11th. I'm just reading some facts, folks. Merriman's Dictionary. Collateral. Now, if you do your research, somebody put that research in the last video. Kudos to the sister. Property, such as securities pledged by a borrower to protect the interests of the lender. A branch of a bodily part, such as a vein. Okay. But it is a secondary or subordinate, or let's see. Basically, it's saying the same thing. The collateral is what is used to collect. That's just street dum-dum terms. There's some words here that I don't want to screw up trying to pronounce them, but on dum-dum terms, you put this collateral up, you can't pay, we coming to take. The take back man is coming. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So what could happen during that time? Don't think it's strange that we're going into a government shutdown on top of what's coming in October. So when we say harpazo, raptoro, snatching out of the way of imminent danger, that's imminent danger, folks. And we see the revelation in chapter 6 being set up right now to unfold because of where we are. Everything is going in the garbage can right now. The only salvage or salvation is the Lamb and the Father. That's it. Because man cannot save itself. We are not bouncing back from this. It's going downhill. Military people may not get their checks next month. We don't know. People aren't getting paid. Certain people are. But then again, what did I say earlier? Bank runs. They may try to start a bank run to finish it off, because they're going to put that fear out there, and people are going to run to the ATM, run to their banks, run to their credit unions to try to get their money out because of fear. But listen, folks, it's not going to make a difference. That's the reason why we see these verses in Revelation chapter 6, because even if you run and get that money, it ain't going to be no good. I don't care how much money you got saved up, buried in the backyard. It ain't going to, that paper money, because they want to take it to crypto, digital, is not going to be, it's not even going to make sense to run to the bank. Because that works in their favor. If you run to the bank, try to take everything out, you're helping the collapse. That's what they counting on. That's what they're counting on. There's no way. Now, by Sunday midnight, they got till that time to come up with a solution. But the only thing that they can do, folks, is raise the ceiling again, which means they're going to raise inflation some more, which means they're going to tax us more, which means you see those two verses, seals 2, seals 3, and 4 coming to light in Revelation. This is the reason why I keep telling people we're not in those seals yet. These seals are being, the fruit of them are being prepped today. They're being prepped right now because there's no out for this situation. None. There's no out. This is a wrap. You understand? This is a wrap. Stone cold wrap for this country. You can't get out of it. We can't pay it back. So the only thing they can do is raise the ceiling again, which is going to raise inflation some more, which means they're going to tax us more, which means the cost of living is going up, but your salary and your pay is not going up. This is the reason why we know what hour we're in. There is no coming back. There won't be an election in 2024. You can forget that. Because we won't even have a government. Folks need to wake up. We're being prepped. Right now, we're in Revelation 2 and 3. Jesus is telling the people to repent. Get your act together. I know your works. If you don't repent, I'm throwing you into great tribulation. Revelation 4 and 5, that's us. That's security. We're safe. We've reached salvation. We're out of the way. Revelation 6, everything that we see being prepped right now is going to be given power, but we'll be safely out of the way. You cannot recover from 33 trillion. You can't erase it. So when we read these verses in Revelation chapter 6, those verses are happening because of what's happening right now in front of your face. But God is going to get up off that throne and yell with a shout and call those who are his home first before any of this happens. That happens. But we see it being prepped today, folks. That's it. And instead of being fearful, we should be rejoicing and celebrating that the promise that God is not slacked on his promises, and that promises is about to be delivered to those who have been diligently seeking him. Stay prayed up, folks. I'll be back later on. Peace.